Hi guys, welcome back to another episode on how to cut and sew. Today's episode is going to be based on how to cut a top and trouser. I'll be cutting out a trouser on this pattern paper. Then we'll be cutting out the top on the fabric. So the first thing we're going to do here is to fold your pattern paper into two. So let's assume this has been folded into two this way. Before you can take any length, because this trouser it has a band, so you have to take any inches of your band, you have to take it up. So I'm using 2 inches here, so I'm taking the 2 inches up to take the length of my trouser. The length of my trouser here is going to be 44 inches. Then I'll be adding 1 inch of seam allowance to it to make it 45. From this side here, I'll be leaving, before I can start the band measurement, I'll be leaving 3 inches. So I'll be starting my band measurement from here. So the band measurement is 28 inches. 28 divided by 4 is going to give us 7 inches. Then from this 7 inches, I'll be taking the length of my flap, taking 2 inches up. Don't forget the 2 inches for the band. I'll be taking it up. The flap measurement is 28 inches. Divided by 2 will give me 14. That means you take your band, you take your flap from front to the back. If you are taking ordinary front, you get 14. If you are taking ordinary back, you get 14. So when you take from back to the front, you get 28. So I'm dividing the 28 into to give me 14 inches. So this is my 14 inches. This is our band, this is our flap measurement, taking 2 inches up. This is our flap line. So the next thing is to take the hip point. The hip point is 9 inches. This is the hip point. So the hip point is here, then the flap measurement is here. Then I'll be connecting all the lines together. So this is now the line that connects the flap and the hip measurement together. So let me label it. This is the hip point, the HP, the hip point. This is the flap measurement, the FM. Flap measurement, I'll be taking 1 inch up, 1 inch up and 1 inch down. Then I'll be connecting the 2 lines together. So you can see this is now the shape. So you can confirm it. Maybe it's still okay for what you want to, I said it's going to be 14 inches. So this is 14 points. If you trace it down, it should be 14.2 inches, 40.4 inches. You can see it should be 40.4 inches. It's not up to 40.5. So the 0.4 inches is going for the seam allowance. So from the hip point here, you're going to take the hip measurement of 9.5 inches. We're using 38 inches of hip. So divided by 4 is going to give us 9.5 inches. So these are 9.5 inches. You can see these are 9.5 inches. Then you come to the waist here. We took the measurement of 7 inches here. So 9.5 inches and these 7 inches, we're going to connect them together. Then when you come to the flap measurement, it's going to be, when you come to this area, it starts from here. It's also going to be 9.5 inches. You're going to take your hip measurement here too, but you're starting from this point here. You can see 9.5 inches. Then you connect the 3 lines together like this. So this is after connecting the 2 lines together. You can see after connecting the 3 lines together, from the flap to the hip point, then to the waist measurement. So to take the knee length from the waist here to the knee length is 25 inches. Taking the 2 inches of band up, then it's 25 inches. I'm going to roll it out. So at the knee length here, the roundness of the knee here is 16 inches. So 16 divided by 2 will give me 8. This is 8 inches. So From ear to ear now is 8 for the roundness of the nail, which is 16 inches. So we're using 8 inches here. And when you take the measurement from this area, not from the flap here, from this line to this area is 8.6 inches. Then you're going to make a slant line for this 8.6 inches to this area. So since it's a straight trouser, from here now, from the knee here, so you try to slant it down to the full length here. You can see it's not too slant, so just slant it a little bit to the full measurement. So after slanting the line to the full length and the other one to make it a straight trouser, then you must know the wideness of this area. This is 5.5 inches. In two places, that is going to give us 11 inches. So for the wideness of the trouser at the down part here is 11 inches, as you can see. So if you want it to be more wider than this, that means if you are slanting, it won't be too slant like this. You can come to like this, then you add your measurement to it to be more wider than this measurement. But this is the exact measurement I want. That's why I did mine like this. So the next thing that I mean here is just to cut it out. So you can see when we are cutting this, we didn't add any allowance to it. Then I'll be placing this on this pattern paper to add the allowance, because this particular one that we cut out is for the front measurement. Then we're going to add allowance to the back measurement now. After placing it on another pattern paper here, I'll be adding 1 inch to it from this upper part here. 1 inch, 1 inch to the flap, 1 inch to the trouser length, 1 inch. So let me add it up and show it to you. So I added 1 inch at this part where flap is on the trouser, you can see. But this area, this other side where the hip is going to be the same measurement. From here, this is where the hip falls to, so it doesn't need any inches here. So this is the center of the front, and this is also the center of the back. That is why we added 1 inch to this place too. At the flap here is 1 inch. At the knee here is 1 inch. Down to the full length of the trouser is also 1 inch. So let me cut it out. I've cut it out. This is the back measurement and this is the front measurement. You can see. So the 1 inch that we added to it is going for the seam allowance. You can add any inches of a choice. You can add 1.5 to it. It depends on how you can stitch your allowance. You can handle your allowance. But here I'm just making use of 1 inch for the seam allowance. So this is the back. Now you can see the back is bigger than the front. This is where the buttock is. That's why it's bigger than this particular one at the front. So you can place this on the fabric now and cut it out. I come back. This is after placing it on the fabric. You can see. So I've done that for the back also. So the next thing here is to cut out the top. So to cut out the top, I'm using 2.5 yards of this crepe fabric, folding it into 4 for both back and front. You can see this has been folded into 4 places. So the next thing that remains here is to take the necessary measurement. The first thing I'll be taking here is the sleeve length. The sleeve length is 28 inches, but I'll be making it 30 inches. So cut together with the sleeve. From the center of the back is 28 inches, but here I'm making it 30 inches for the folding. The 2 inches is going for the folding. The 2 inches is going for the folding. Then here I'm making use of 1.5 inches of shoulder slant. Then I'll be slanting it all to the center of the front and back. Then after slanting it all to the center of both back and front, the next thing I'll be taking here is the waist the waist measurement, which is 9 inches, they are making half inch of seam allowance to it to make it 5 inches. Then from here I'll be coming in with 6 inches. Twenty-two inches. So this is our 22 inches here. So this is our 6 inches plus 2 inches of seam allowance. So this is making 8 inches. So from here to this area now is 8 inches. So this is where we are coming to, 8 inches. You can see from here to this is going to be a straight line to this 8 inches. So 8 plus 22, that makes it to give us the full length of 30 inches. You can see. So from this 8 inches, I'm going to take a full length of 43 inches. That is with the seam allowance. And this is where my 43 inches is, with the seam allowance. 43 inches. You can see, with the seam allowance. Then from this 43 inches, you can make any wideness of your choice. It depends on how wide you want this down part to be. But here I'll be making use of 50 inches. That's the wideness in all will be 50 inches. In 4 places it's going to be 12.5 inches. These are 12.5 inches. So now from this 12.5 inches, I'll be slanting it down to this area. So this is after slanting it all to this 22 inches. You can see it now. And if you want this area, it's a little bit full at the side. So if you cut it out like this, it will be okay. And if you want it to be more big, for the cut to come out more, then you can decide to come out here a little bit, then you blend it to this area. This is what I mean by that. From here you can decide to cuff it a little bit, then you blend it in. You can see it now. You can decide to come out like this, then you bend it to this, then you blend it to this area. You can end it at anywhere. You can end it at this area, you can end it at here, you can also end it at here, but this is where I'm going to end it. And you can also cut it this way. It's also going to form that style. But if you want it to be more bigger, you can make the shape. Then the next thing that I'm going to do here is to cut it out. The center here. After cutting this out, the next thing you're going to cut here is the neckline. It depends on how you want your neckline to be. I want it to be 4 inches wideness. 4 inches wideness. Then the deepness is going to be 2 inches. 2 inches. Then I'm going to connect the 2 lines together. So, but for both back and front, I'm going to cut it out. So you can see it now. This is after cutting it out. So the next thing that remains here is to make it high-low. The high-low is not a usual high-low. There's a way we're going to cut out this high-low now from the center. And mind you, you're only cutting for the front. So I'll be taking one away from it. You're going to take the measurement from the center here to know where the length is going to be. So to know where you want it to reach, you have to take the measurement. So from here to where it's going to reach is 30, it's going to be 12 inches. Going to be 12 inches. From here now, I'll be taking 2.5 inches. The wideness is going to be 5 inches. 5 inches. But here is going to be 10 inches. Then from here to here, I'm going to connect them together. So if this is 2.5 inches by 5 inches, when you open it, this will be 5 inches and this is going to be 10 inches. If you feel like this upper part is not wide enough, you can add to it to make it 6 inches. So I'm making it 6 inches. I want it to be wide. Then I'll be slanting it from this 2.5 to this 6 inches. So from here now, this is 2.5, this is 6 inches. So I think this is okay. So we're going to cut it out. So this is now the shape of the eye loop. You can see it. So the next thing that I made here is to cut it up to the shoulder, because you can leave it this way, but if you want it exact way it is on the picture, because when you check the tip of this area, it's thick and there's no how you can tape this more thick than this area, or else if you cut out this area, then you fold this the way you like by 1 inch or by 2 inches. So you're going to, from here now, from this 6 inches, you're going to make a 6 inches, a straight line to the shoulder. So we're still going to join this back, tiny, very tiny stitching, so that it will not affect the measurement, but just for you to be able to fold this area the way it is on the picture. Because if you didn't cut this out, there's no way you can fold this thick the way it is on the thumbnail. You can see how much. The first thing you have to do here is to join this back, then you tape this. After then you join the two shoulders together. You tape your band measurement and the band of the sleeve with that 2 inches that we added to it. Then you join the two sides after that, and that is all. So let me go and do the stitching and show you the finishing. Welcome back. Here is the finished frock so far. This is the two pieces I'm talking about. This is the upper part, you can see, and this is the back. This is the side, and you can see the trouser as well. So you can see how beautiful this turns out. So if you're watching for the first time, please, at the end of this class, make sure to subscribe to my channel. And for those who have already subscribed, I really appreciate you guys for watching my video always. See you in my next tutorial. Assalamu alaikum.